This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Emil Ekiyor, founder of InnoPower, brings new insights to This Week in Business. Have you taken our latest business poll yet? A new one launches today, so here's our question to you.
Do you plan to use AI more in your small business for 2026? If so, how do you plan to use the emerging technology?
Follow the QR code to our website, sign up for our newsletter, and weigh in. We'll give you some time to respond and then share what you think in the next few weeks.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
So InnoPower, WISH-TV, Circuit City Broadcasting, we obviously believe that there are huge opportunities in central Indiana. Our city is growing, and with those opportunities, we also have a lot of problems that we need to solve. Traditionally, a lot of our nonprofits or social enterprises have attacked those problems. But because of the economy today, a lot of funding, a lot of companies are not just giving out grants. The state is not just giving out grants, the federal government is not doing the same. But those problems are not going away. Those problems are still here. So how do we rethink how nonprofits operate with a market approach to how they solve these problems, right? How do I solve the problem, but how do I generate some revenue to stay sustainable and not be as dependent on the grant or funding mechanisms? You know, that's something that we have to do here in Indianapolis going forward. And you can name it, if it's housing, if it's education, if it's early childhood, if it's returning citizens, if it's entrepreneurship, those problems continue to pile up. And we can't lose nonprofits. We need more, right? But we need more that understand how to sustain and how to make sure they're attacking these problems, but they're also getting the resources and generating some revenue to help attack these problems. What's happening is there are terms like impact investment, right? And things like that exist. And there's so much, billions and billions of dollars in the impact investment portfolio nationally. But traditionally, our nonprofits, we've operated, us included, have operated in a system that said, you know, I have an idea, I want to solve a problem. The way I need to do it is I need to go apply for funding and see if I get the funding to solve this problem. If I don't get the funding, does that mean I'm not going to solve the problem? Right? So we want to create this environment that says, you know what, we have problems, but there's a way to solve this problem, right? And remain sustainable. But I need to do it in a market approach. And then we have examples of nonprofits who are doing this at a very, very high level right here in our city. So going forward, we want to normalize this way of thinking to make sure that, hey, look, the funding and the lack of access to funding should not stifle my desire to solve a problem, because I can build a business model around how I solve the problem, who pays for it because I'm creating value, and then how I build that. So we will start working with nonprofits and taking them through somewhat of an accelerator. So if I have a startup, or if I have an idea to start a business, there's several places I can walk into here in Indianapolis to think through that idea. They're called incubators, accelerators, and those venture studios. But if I have an idea to solve a problem in my community, whether it's in Carmel, whether it's on the east side, whether it's in Fishers, on the south side, wherever, and I want to solve a problem with mental health or a problem with attendance in schools or whatever that is, there are not very many places to walk into to think through, how do I solve this problem? How do I solve it and keep working on this instead of doing it today and then I'm done a year from now, which happens so much. So I think Indy is right for this. I think the times we're in call for this. And I'm so excited to be doing this with WISH-TV and Circuit City Broadcasting. You know, DeJuan McCoy is always thinking business and problem solving. And so as we talked about this, and we just felt like this, as we start the new year, the timing and the alignment with the BE&O show. The BE&O show for years has doubled down on all those tentacles of business formation. Well, those same things apply when you're building a social enterprise. In certain parts of the world, they don't even call it nonprofits anymore, right? Because you're solving a problem that's value for people, and people can pay something. And if they can't pay something, the different models for you to be able to generate revenue to sustain the work you're doing because the community needs it. Nonprofits in Indianapolis hire a lot of people. The industry is huge here, right? And we have more trying to start because we have issues that we have to solve. But you're very right that there is a business model for a nonprofit. The issue is, as I'm thinking about starting this, there's not a lot of places to walk into to think about that business model. How do I sustain this? Am I doing a product-based, nonprofit, service-based? Who's going to pay for? Who's my ideal customer? Who can pay for it? Right? I probably do this for 5 years and not just started today and I'm done in 10 months. So all of those things apply for the times we're in today. And again, I say this, it's because the BE&O show has run for 3 years and people know it and see it as a business show. We have a lot of nonprofits that watch it on Sunday mornings that are also looking for advice and help or tap into advice and help they hear from the BE&O show. We're just formalizing that a little bit more now going forward. We are going to visit some amazing social entrepreneurs who are solving problems, right? And yes, they're also applying for funding, but if they don't receive the funding, their doors don't shut, right? They keep grinding through it, just like businesses do. I don't get a loan today. I still have to keep going, right? And it's the same thing with our nonprofits, right? So this is so needed. Like I said, everywhere we go to, not just in Indy, all over the world, right? We call it the transition from aid to investments, right? The conversations around the investment I need to do the work I need to do in my community, right? We want people to see this as investments being made in social enterprises so they can double down on doing the work and sustain the work that we all need in our communities today.
Coming up, Courtney Kincaid kicks off the new year with a look at what you need to know about tax conformity. That's next.
This Week in Business is made possible by Indy Biz Pass.